You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
I'm a bonus. Hey, Smalls.
Hey!
Well, there's an over the weekend, and every time, everyone has those movies where if they trip over them, they're going to watch it again.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
One of mine is The Sandlot.
Oh,
I love that
Killing
movie.
me, Smalls.
God, yeah, but working with you guys now is like stuck in my head. You're killing me, Smalls. Plural.
Our last name is Small.
Plural.
Smalls. But the two of us together are the Smalls.
This is a big deal. I'm about to get up close, personal, and intimate with you guys.
Oh, really?
Because it's a very big day
Do we need to get closer to the microphone?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. It happens to be Body Piercing Day.
Oh.
Nationally. We all celebrate in our own way.
So how many piercings do you have?
I have two, actually.
You have two?
I did, yeah, and this kind of freaks people out.
I'm looking at your ears and I don't see anything.
Well, I have
use your imagination.
I have a double piercing in one of my ears, but I have not worn earrings for decades. Because to me, at some point, it's like, especially if you're a guy.
Yeah.
Unless
at some point you have to outgrow that.
Unless you're a biker guy or something.
Yeah. Right.
But at some
Or
point,
Mr.
it's like,
Clean.
you know what? No.
Right.
No, and in fact, my children didn't even know I had my ears pierced until my daughter was trying to talk my son into getting his ears pierced years ago, saying, and this was her line of reasoning, Luke, if you got your ear pierced and he was maybe 10, then it would look like you're in a boy band and girls would really like that. And I'm overhearing this from another room. Well, I dug through an old jewelry box and found some of my old earrings.
Oh.
Put them on, and I think it was a silver hoop and a diamond stud, and I walked out and I said, yeah, that'd be a great idea, Luke. And they looked at me, and their jaws, those can't be real. I said, oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, he sees if his dad does it, it can't be that cool.
Yeah.
He never did. So, yeah.
I pierced, I had a girlfriend that wanted me to get my ears pierced.
Uh-oh.
So she bought me a little diamond stud. And I was in high school. I was like sophomore.
Just let me interject real quick here. I think it's great the look Heidi gets when you talk about ex-girlfriends. Okay, continue, John.
She's heard this story before.
I have heard this story before.
She's like, we should go to the mall and get your ears pierced. And I was like, what? I
mall?
don't really want to do that. This is back when that was a thing. So we were supposed to go to the mall. And I said, well, if I'm going to do it, I'll just do it. And I took the earring and I just poked it through my ear, which is apparently not the way you do that. But I pierced my ear just sticking the actual diamond stud right through the skin. And it did not feel good. I'll tell you that, first of all. And then I wore it that way for like an hour and a half for our little date and all of our stuff. I walk in the house when I get home, and my dad said, so you taking that out or am I taking that out? I'm like, oh, I'll take that out.
Excellent dadship right there.
It was pierced for an hour and a half.
Yeah. But you can pierce anything these days, and a lot of people do, and whatever, get it done right. Hey, the best in town is our friend Stevie Butterfield over at Alien and Company.
If you're going to do it, let them do it. Don't do the way I did.
Leave it up to the professionals.
Exactly.
So there you go.
That's a great plan. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.
Do you have a credit card? Is it the very best credit card? Many people get their credit card as a response to an offer that was mailed to you. These are typically not the best cards. Check the fine print for the fees and interest. We have a website that compares many different cards being offered so you can find the one that's the best fit for you. If you'd like to find a better credit card, we'd love to help at bettercreditcards.net. There's no obligation. Just click and compare to see if we can get you a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net.
Sunny 93.3, time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Hi, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Chillin', I'm Ranger Dan. That means two things. I'm a ranger and my name is Dan.
Yes, that is what it means.
We got that.
And it all comes together right here on the radio, where we invite you, my little radio rangers at home, to gather around the radio, and I'm going to lay some knowledge on you about all the good creatures of the forest, the waters. I almost said the airs, but there's like only one air, right? Not sure on that. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm a ranger. I'd like to take a few moments this morning to talk about bees.
Oh,
Okay.
Did you know there are approximately 20,000 species of bees in the world?
I did
Oh, no
not.
kidding.
20,000.
That's a lot.
I didn't even know there were 20,000 bees.
Yeah, well, there's a bee shortage. There's a bee shortage, which is why now I believe in Sioux Falls you can be a beekeeper right in your backyard, along with chickens, emus, raccoons, Ducks, which are free.
Yeah.
Have all the ducks you want.
A cow, one cow.
Yeah, so you could be a beekeeper because there's a bee shortage. But here's the thing. The myth is that bees die when they sting you.
And that's not true?
Most do not.
Really?
Most do not. Honeybees do. And out of the 20,000 species of bees, only 7 of those are actually honeybees.
So the other of the 20,000, none of them make any honey?
No, nope.
So what a waste of bees if
what
they
do
won't
they
even
do?
make honey.
Well, they make other stuff, dairy products, jerky.
Which, of course, is bee jerky, which is oftentimes mispronounced as beef jerky.
And most bees
is just confused.
Thank you. Heidi, see, about 5 years ago, Heidi was at the Ranger Dan Day Camp.
I am a Ranger graduate.
I wonder where she went that weekend.
Yeah, that was right before it got shut down by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. But here's the thing. Bees do not want to sting you. Most really, 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 really don't. They really, really don't. Wasps, on the other hand.
Wasps are nasty.
They'll throw down just because.
They're nasty.
Just because. So there you go. You got 20,000 species of bees. Only 7 of them are of the honeybee variety. Most bees don't want to sting you, and most bees do not die after stinging you. The ones that do die, it's basically the stinger gets stuck and they rip their whole abdomen out. It's ugly.
Oh, really?
Ugliness.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. Now we know. Thank you, Ranger Dan.
Yeah. Hey, kids. Let's see. Hang on. I made notes. Eat vegetables. Stay in school. Say your prayers. And as alarming as this is, I'm a ranger. I can only be up front. As far as we know, there is absolutely no cure for herpes. So carry on.
Well, I'm glad you found your notes. Thanks for joining us, Ranger Dan, with Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on Sunny 93.3.
The inventor of Rip It gloves has been a drywall guy for decades. He was trying to find gloves that worked for him and his crew, but nothing was quite right. So he went out and created some. Rip It gloves fit firm in your hand and protect your hands, but still allow you to use a touchscreen. Professional athletes love the extra grip Rip It gloves gives them. Painters, roofers, contractors, but also motorcycle and horseback riders. See why everyone loves Rip It gloves at ripitgloves.com. Use promo code radio to save 25%. That's RIPIT gloves.com, promo code radio.
Sunny 93.3, time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Dan almost spit his coffee all over the place. That's not good. You all right? Heidi, you could kill the poor man.
Oh.
Laugh right before he has to speak.
Oh, man. Yes, water cooler talk. And I pretty much get this information. I wear out shoe leather. I pound on desks. I demand answers.
Yes.
And, well, actually, I saw this in the news a couple days ago. After, I don't know, what's it been, 78 years, 27 years, whatever, State Theater just got a whole lot of financial juice.
5 million bones.
Donna Phillips. It's been sitting there. Well, I know what the article said, but I mean, basically, they've been trying to revamp this thing since, what, late 80s, early 90s, something like that.
Closed
since we lived here, for sure, it's been going on.
Yeah, it could have been 9 different parking ramps by now, which was,
exactly.
was my vote. T. Denny Sanford has stepped up to the plate.
3.5 million.
I've seen 3.5 and I've seen up to 5, but I think it is 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 from Denny and then 1.5 from the city of Sioux Falls.
Mayor Tenhanken out of his own pocket is 1.5. No, it's the entertainment tax. Don't get too excited.
It wasn't his pocket. It was our
entertainment tax. So you have to read really deep in the article.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is from the Argus Leader, which I borrowed from a close personal friend and will not be giving back. It says they still have down there, and if you're familiar with this story at all, it's been getting reopened for a very long time.
They started working on this the same week they started Crazy Horse, and the same week they started the Interstate Project in Sioux City.
Correct.
And it
Which
is a
are
fight
also
to the
not
finish
done.
to see who gets done first.
Yeah.
And they're all neck and neck, but there is still a lot of work to be done on the balcony in the State Theater, a lot of work to be done on the second floor of State Theater, on the third floor in the State Theater. And so even though it looks like they are now playing with a gifted additional between $4 and $5 million, they're still going to need about additional 2.5 to. Wow.
I don't know who they're getting to do this work.
We right here. We should start the
we
John
could go
Heidi
in there
and
with
Dan
a hot glue
company.
gun and a
Well, the other part of this is
finishing nails and have that sucker pounded out in a weekend.
and God bless Mr. Sanford, and you know we've been close personal friends. We have a storied history together, growing up together and whatnot. And I just call him the T-Man.
Is that what you call
He's the T-Man. He calls me Big D.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we just shoulder punch each other, leg wrestle or something.
think any of this is true.
Go shopping for sundresses. But
again, I don't think any of this is accurate.
But part of this deal is you got the sculpture walk downtown, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is beautiful. But now moving forward, as soon as the State Theater actually opens, the sculpture walk is going to be 3 dozen statues of T. Denny. And the Arc of Dreams, which is now halfway complete, that's going to be retrofitted with a 70-foot bronze of T straddling the big Sioux.
Oh,
that's what
now
it
that
seems
I
like
would
an even trade to me.
That I would like to have.
that was in the fine
community.
print on this gift, huh?
That is in the fine print on that gift. So we'll keep you
that.
posted on what happens. Again, I'm on this, man. I'm here for you. You got any
We
questions?
appreciate it, Dan.
No
Get
problem.
your pulse on this community.
Any questions? Find John's number.
Yeah, don't call me on any of this nonsense. I don't believe most of it, and I can't believe it.
I made up the sundress thing. Okay.
I can't believe I allow it.
Suddenly I got an attorney poking his nose in here. It's like, God, calm down.
Get him on
Calm
standby.
down.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Coming up in a moment, we're going to make a phone call. We're going to talk with Tim about faith and football. You said you know Tim, don't you?
Tim Hughes, great guy. Yes, him and his wife, Tracy. Yep.
Got a cool event coming up next week. We're going to chat all about it coming up.
Join us for a fun week in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic for the 3rd annual 80s in the Sand. We've been there the last 2 years. In addition to making a bunch of awesome new friends, we had so much fun meeting 80s actors and musicians. 80s in the Sand takes over the entire resort, so you'll mingle with them at the pools and the restaurants too. We'd love to have you join us. See the amazing lineup featuring Sammy Hagar and many more at radiotravelgroup.com. Save $200 per person for first-time guests at radiotravelgroup.com.
Sunny 93.3, thank you so much for listening on a Friday. We have Tim Hughes joining us right now. We're going to talk about faith and football. Tim, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to chat with you. Now, this is a really cool event that's been going on. You said 8 years? This is the 8th year?
That is correct. 8 years.
And for people listening that have not heard of Faith in Football, let's talk about what this event is, and then we'll kind of explain how they can sign up if they're interested.
Faith in Football is a event where kids learn about Jesus Christ with the help of the game of football. Essentially, we will have a day on July 6th where kids come to Crosswalk Community Church, and through the game of football, we teach them the principles and the gospel of Jesus Christ. Really fun day. Kids come in. We check in at 8:30. We're out of there by 3:30. So it's a great day for parents to get away and do those little things they need to do, those errands, and not have to worry about the kiddos. And, we've done it for 8 years. We've had nothing but positive feedback and positive results. Best thing about it is it's absolutely free. So what you look for is kids kindergarten through 8th grade, and we split them into groups. And all of the things that we do are given to the kids in a way that they would understand for their appropriate age group. So if you have a 6th grader, he's going to get taught things from a 6th grade point of view, not a kindergarten point of view. So we try to really personalize the teaching to the kids. And then, they get to run around and play a great game of football with a lot of local high school athletes. A few college athletes will be there and, learn the game of football the way it's supposed to be taught as well. It's not a contact camp. It is strictly shorts and tennis shoes and things like that. So no one has to worry about having cleats or mouthpieces or any of those things. It will be a strictly contact-free camp, just filled with a lot of fun.
Now, when you've done this in the past, you've done this, it'll be the 8th year. How many people do you usually have at an event like this?
On average, we usually, have about 90. We have had years we've been well over 90, into the hundreds, and we've had years we've had about 75. As we've built throughout the years, our attendance has continued to grow, and we really don't have a cap on the number of kids that can be there. So we invite everyone who's interested to sign up and take part.
And again, the grades that this kind of covers goes up through 8th grade, is that right?
That is correct, kindergarten through 8th grade. And if you have an 8th grade child who is just finishing 8th grade but going into their freshman year, but you feel like this is something that would be good for them, and vice versa. A child who hasn't yet started kindergarten, but you believe, hey, they can handle this. We don't turn them away either. Feel free to sign them up.
If you'd like to get more information, there's a website you can go to. Now, what is that website again, Tim?
The website is crosswalkcc.com. Again, crosswalkcc.com.
And that's for Crosswalk Community Church. So that's what the CC is, crosswalkcc.com. We've got a link to that on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/sunnyradio. Tim, thank you so much for doing what you do. 8 years of doing this, and I think it seems like an amazing thing to do. And I'm sure that there are kids out there that are probably playing in college now that have gone through this, if it's been going on for 8 years. So think of the impact you've made on hundreds of students over the years. I think that's really cool.
Hey, well, we appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to keep doing this until there's not a need to do it anymore. So hopefully we have more than 8 years left in us.
That would be fantastic. Well, we'll do what we can to help let folks know about it in the future as well. But thank you for doing it this year. If you'd like to sign up, it's coming up on the 6th of July, which sounds like a long ways away. That's just a little over a week away. So it just seems like it's way down the road. But, we're sneaking right up on July here as we speak. Again, if you'd like the details on this, faith and football, I've got a link to all of the information on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio. Credit cards, they can be trouble. About 12 years ago, we did a debt snowball program and got rid of our credit cards. We were debt-free except for our house. It was awesome. But over the course of the next decade, our credit score went down. That sounds weird, but they need open accounts to give you a score. Our lower score made our insurance rates go up. We decided to get a credit card to help with that. We just pay it off every month. If you want a better credit card, check out bettercreditcards.net. They'll help you compare all the different cards to get the best one for you. That's bettercreditcards.net. Sunny 93.3, time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Celebrities are fabulous. Their dogs are more well-groomed than yours. Their jewelry's pretty flashy, although sometimes it's just promotional. They don't really own it.
We have that happen once in a while, where they get to just put things on loan, and I had that same thing happen one time with a pair of sunglasses. I was walking around a gas station just wearing them. They still had the tag hanging on them, and I hadn't paid for them, but they were just promotional glasses until I, felt like buying them, and I didn't. So.
Okay, John, that's fantastic. Brody Jenner is in a little bit of trouble here. Brody Jenner, one of the sons of Caitlyn.
Okay,
he's getting some shade thrown at him.
What's going on?
Because he's a celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
Can't trash time, you got to throw shade. Brody facing a lot of online backlash after using the wrong pronoun to describe his parent. It'd be his dad, Caitlyn Jenner, but you can't say dad because that's male.
Oh.
So it's just parent. See where this is going here?
So he got in trouble for talking about his dad.
On the debut episode of The Hills, New Beginnings, which Brody is a part of, Brody was addressing the changes in his life since the initial The Hills last aired. So in that whole time, that's when the transition with his parent happened. Well, Brody, during this episode, referred to Caitlyn as a he, not once, but twice. And social media lit up.
Hey, but sorry,
that's his own father.
The biological facts.
Well, no, parent.
That's his own parent.
Right, yeah. Be woke, John. I'm trying to work with you here.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, who is
I'll
it
be
that's
disrespectful.
No, hang on a second, Heidi. Who is it that's all offended about this? Was it somebody that's closer to Bruce?
No,
no. Total strangers who watch the show and they...
Total strangers are offended that...
Correct.
The son
the
of
way
this
he
person.
This
is what Brody is saying. My dad, who became a woman, don't want to forget about that one. That was a pretty big deal. He says it got kind of confusing and whatever. I'm sure. Yeah. And so I put myself in that place. Yeah. And I'm thinking about my dad. And it's like if he showed up one day walking and said, "Yeah, I've decided I'm a woman."
Right.
Me as a son and as a guy, I'm going to go, "Whoa, dude."
Right.
There's going to be some questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is the place we're in anymore. On the other side, you can be judgmental, you can be angry, but the other side of that is it's kind of cool that we can all be fluid gender now and fluid race now and just kind of be whatever and whoever we want to be.
We feel like at the time.
No, for instance, I shared the story where years ago I tried to join an Asian gang because I was
and they wouldn't let you.
It was just too early, Dan. That's
Every
all.
now and again.
But now, if you try again, you just might get in.
They'll have to let me, or I can take them to court.
Yes.
And you could probably sue them to make them bake you a cake and stuff.
Yeah, or maybe start out small. Maybe start out small with things you can handle. For instance, lately I've been self-identifying as the Billion Automotive radio guy.
Oh, really?
MSRP! Professional grade.
Can you tell the show is unscripted?
And it's okay for me to do that, because that's what I feel, man.
Because that's how you feel inside. And nobody can judge you for that, Dan.
I'm just wondering how much trouble we're in right now at this very moment. And if I should continue to let this continue or just...
I would not.
Pull the ripcord and dive now.
I'd shut this down now.
It's probably a good plan. Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Okay, yeah.
Somehow that was entertainment news of the day. I don't think it was. We appreciate you listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan. His name is Dan Farris. That's DANF. Well, you'll figure it out.
I'm official grade.
On Sunny 93.3.